is my favorite training ground. So I'm going to be the one instructing you. My name is Loom. I am a PADI dive instructor, certified and renewed. We're going to take it from the top. We'll be using equipment for our dive, the scuba tank, BCD, buoyancy control device, or some people call it the buoyancy compensation device. You have weights, 4 methods: pinch, blow, pinch, swallow, wiggle, or stretch by yawning. Wow. We just learned about equalizing. Speaking of equalizing, we need a device to equalize our lungs. The regulator comprises of 1, 2, 3, 4 hoses. Now when you yawn and you're breathing underwater, don't allow the regulator to come out of your mouth. If you're diving in colder waters, you might have a fifth. The fifth one puts air into a suit that you'll be wearing called a dry suit. And your body warms up the air in the suit, and this is what keeps you warm. A wetsuit would trap water in the suit. Your body would warm the water in the suit, and this is what keeps you warm. Yeah? The shortest hose on the bunch, this is what takes air to the jacket. This valve would work like an air gun or compressor. You need to pull down, connect, pull down, disconnect. This guy right here is your gauge. To the bottom you have your air cylinder gauge, which will tell you how much air is in your cylinder. And to the top would be your depth. You'll notice that there's an orange or red zone. This is not panic mode. It doesn't mean that you exit the water right away or swim up. It simply means you need to start thinking of heading to the surface or to our start point. A full cylinder would be between 2,500 to 3,000. Caution zone we will use for our dive will be 1,000 psi. If you see me pointing to my palm, drawing a circle in my palm, or taking my gauge and showing it to you, it means check your gauge. If your gauge reads anything above 1,500 psi, just give me an OK signal. Each finger represents 100 psi. This would be 200, 500, 800, 1,000. So if you have 1,200 psi, you open 10 fingers, close, and then reopen 2. 1,300, 10 plus 3. If you have a camera in one hand, you go like this: 5, 10 plus 2. So that means when you get to the caution zone, you tap me on the shoulder, you can pull on my fin, let me know you're at 1,000. Breathing devices, you have 2 of them. The shorter of the 2, this is what you'll be using for your dive. The longer one, this is the one that I can have you breathe from if you did not keep an eye on your gauge and you got very low. We're still very deep. I can still breathe from mine and give you this one to breathe from. We'll actually be practicing that skill underwater. It's called using an alternate air source. You breathe from the regulator like this. This is upside down. You breathe from it upside down, you could actually swallow water. The number 1 rule in scuba diving is never hold your breath. That doesn't mean you breathe. It simply means you take a deep breath, exhale slow. When the regulator is out of your mouth at any point in time, you need to blow tiny bubbles. Tiny bubbles means you're not holding your breath, your lungs are expelling the air. So if you're swimming up by accident, you don't have to worry about your lungs expanding because you are releasing the excess air. If I take a balloon and I put 2 puffs of air into the balloon and I tie it off, I take it underwater, 2 things will happen. 1, as I start to descend, the balloon will collapse because of the pressure. When I start to come back up, the balloon will expand because the air is trapped. So if the air is not releasing, as you come up, it expands. So the same for your lungs. If your lungs are closed because you're not breathing, you head up to the surface, your lungs will expand. If you keep heading up, your lungs could overexpand and that could cause an injury. So you never hold your breath. My favorite piece of equipment, the mask, allows you to see underwater, and most importantly, it keeps salt water away from your eyes. So the mask comes with a soft nose pocket, so you could pinch your nose and equalize. You have the silicone skirt, which creates a seal. So if you have a mustache or if you have hair in the front of the mask, when you put the mask on, you'll not get a proper seal. Expect water to continuously get into the mask. How do you test for a proper fitting mask? You simply want to place the mask onto your face and inhale. If the mask stays onto your face when you inhale, that's a proper fitting mask. The strap can be tightened by simply pulling, or it can be loosened by pulling the tab on the side and allow it to release. When you're putting the mask on, you always loosen up the straps, put the mask onto your face, put the strap to the back of your head, right here to the crown where it's nice and comfortable. Tighten up both ends of the mask strap, and there you have it. Make sure you have no hair trapped in the mask, and make sure it's sitting comfortably on your nose. Snorkel, same as the regulator, goes into your mouth. Your teeth are going to keep it in place. Your lips are going to seal around the mouthpiece to prevent water from coming in, and the snorkel tube needs to remain above the surface of the water, because if it goes underwater, water will come in, you breathe in water, you swallow water, makes you cough. Underwater, we'll be practicing clearing the mask. So if you do get water in the mask, you can clear it off. To let the water into the mask, for the purpose of practice, we're going to use our index fingers. So index finger is going to come to the top. Do you wear contact lenses? No? Don't let the water go above your eyes, because I want to see you and I want you to see me. There's a little bit of water in the mask. Take the heel of your hand, apply pressure to the top. So you're simply pushing it onto your forehead. You exhale forcefully through your nose, and then you're going to roll your head back so that the water that's in the nose pocket will fall onto your upper lip and exit. So we're going like this. You apply pressure, exhale through your nose. We're also going to practice recovering the regulator. So that breathing device, we're going to deliberately take it out of our mouth, blow tiny bubbles, throw it away, and recover it. To recover the regulator, you need to take it away from your body by leaning to the right. Keep your arms stretched. Make contact with your thigh, swing your arm around. It's going to be right here on your arm. You just simply take it with your other hand, put it into your mouth. We're going to clear it, breathe, full stop. Second method to recover the regulator is over the shoulder. Reaching over the shoulder, the first hose that you make contact with is going to be that hose. Put it into your mouth, you clear it, continue breathing. So we're going to practice putting the scuba unit together. So earlier I said the jacket goes onto the scuba tank at the back. This one goes around the neck. This strap comes over together. It's still not there yet. As you can see, it still moves. So all you need to do is just push this one to lock. But before you do that, there are two adjustments that need to be made. Number one, you need to make sure the jacket is at the front of the scuba tank. Wherever the air exits, this is the front. The jacket's supposed to be right here. The air is going this way, same direction as the jacket. Don't get it confused, because if you put it this way, the air is going this way. This is the front, the jacket is on the back. Next, you need to make sure that the jacket at rest would be about the same height as the valve. The reason why I say at rest, this is not at rest. You are holding it the same level as the valve. This is at rest. You lift the jacket and the strap to the back together so that they get to about the same height. This is where you're going to lock this in, but be very careful. Many people have cut their fingers trapping it in this clip. So use only the heel of your hand. So now I can simply carry my jacket with me on my dive. There's an O-ring. When you put your regulator on here, all right, airtight. Make sure that O-ring is there. It's in place. It looks good. There's no dust, sand, or anything on there, so that when you put your regulator on here now, you get a proper seal. The regulator has a protective cap, so no sand, dust, water, anything gets in here. You're going to remove the dust cap by unscrewing, not all the way, just enough so that you could pop it out. The first stage, this round piece right here, if you look on the inside, that's where the air goes, and that thing you see there is a filter. So the compressor has so many filters, and then this one still has a filter. So you have to breathe pure air, clean, fresh. You need to also bear in mind that when you put the regulator onto the jacket, the ones you breathe from need to be on your right-hand side. So picture yourself being in the jacket, place them onto the right-hand side, everything else to the left. So now you're going to put the valve onto the O-ring. If you put it on this way, you put it on backwards. Put this onto the O-ring. You see these notches right here, only your fingers are supposed to go here. So you use your fingers to tighten up. You use too much muscle, you could actually cut or split the O-ring. Only your fingers, and that's it. It will rock, swivel, but the O-ring is what's doing the sealing, not the tightening. Low pressure inflator hose needs to go to the low pressure inflator, but no matter how many times you squeeze and press, it's not going to go in. Remember, like a compressor, pull down, slide up, lock, double check, make sure it's secure. Before I connect this, all I do, I just slide it through here, and then I connect. What's this guy right here? All right, signaling device, and that's it. Everything is connected. They need to be tested. You want to make sure that the gauge is not facing you or another diver. You point it down, or you place the face of it on your equipment. Open the valve, nice and easy, allow the pressure to build. You open it all the way back. When it gets to the end, do not keep it there. Roll it forward, just half a turn. If you give it a half a turn forward, you will always know if it's open or closed. 2,500 to 3,000 is a full tank. How much air is in there? That should give us more than 40 minutes of swim time, easy. Your depth gauge tells you how deep you are. The black needle should read 0 because you're not underwater yet. The orange needle will tell you how deep you went on your dive. But if the orange needle is not on 0, you need to reset that needle. You can use your thumb to roll this back to 0, and then at the end of the dive, the orange needle will tell you how deep you were. Yeah? Cool. Inflator. We didn't get to use it the last time because we used our lungs. Now you could get to use it. You fill up your jacket past maximum fill, but not all at once. Small bursts. So you see the jacket is going to release the air. If it doesn't release the air, it would burst like a balloon. Alright? So you see even the jacket doesn't hold its own breath. So you should not. If you have a full jacket and you're heading up to the surface, it would not pop. It would keep releasing the air, but you have to make sure you exit all the way to prevent you from making a runaway ascent, which is going up too fast. So your regulator, you want to test it out. Purge button located in the front will force air through the regulator. So now I can put this in. This one works, so I test the other one out. Always test your gear, make sure everything works. Also, you want to make sure now with Corona, all equipment is sanitized. Everything here has been sanitized and clean.
You know, watching movies and watching television, and you see diving now, you would say, how much nonsense did this show you in movies, huh? They just make it seem you put on gear and you go. You just go.
This is your equipment fully assembled and also your equipment fully tested. So you know everything you use in here is working. Any questions? To disassemble the scuba gear, which you will do towards the end of the activity.
First thing, off the oxygen.
Not oxygen, air. That's right. Close. What's next?
You let out the air.
You let out the excess air. Easiest way to do it, just push any one of the purge buttons. You could hold it down or you can just give it puffs. I'm just doing it so you could see gradually. And then disconnect. And then replace the scab. Alright. So you protect it. And then disconnect all hoses attached to the jacket. So that would be one. This one is tucked right in here in the sleeve. There you have it. This is off. Then your jacket, undo the clip, slide it off the cylinder. Your cylinder always goes to sleep. Your jacket is the blanket. It doesn't fall on anybody's foot, or if somebody is walking and doesn't see it, they hit the jacket and not the tank. So I have some gear over here for you. Testing proper fitting jackets. This is jacket number 1. Let's see how that fits for you. Let's make sure the jacket is a proper fit. So you're going to breathe into the jacket. All right, how does that feel? Snug. Perfect. All right, let's test out the 4 releases. So just do a little bit of each. That's right. That's it. Yeah. So this is going to be your SCUBA cylinder. Check it out and make sure it's a good one. Okay, what are some of the things you look for? Hydro test date. What's the size of the tank?
The size of the tank is 80.
That's right. Place your jacket onto the SCUBA cylinder. So next, the regulator.
Right?
If you open up this guy before connecting,
before
you get resistance.
Yeah. Trick to it, put it through before. Valve.
Crack open all the way back till you get to the end. Half a turn forward. Now you test out everything, make sure everything works.
Your ink jacket.
Check also your tank air pressure.
3100.
More than enough. Reset your perfecto. Your breathing devices have to be tested. Next regulator. Alright, so that one is dry. And then it goes in here. And then, yeah. If somebody needs it in an emergency, just pull it out. And that's how you set up your SCUBA gear. Looking good? Ready to go? Yeah! We're about to get wet